what really pisses you off, like really makes you angry, in terms of, and we're talking about this process, this maintenance process, we're talking about agents, contractors, tenants.
Yeah.
What really upsets you?
I think what pisses me off is like that I can never ever know enough, and so it's more like of an internal frustration. Therefore, you have to trust who you're working with, and when it goes back to having like those 3 quotes that seem to give 3 diagnoses of one problem, and nobody's telling you the truth of it, and you know, like that just really frustrates me.
Can I stop you there?
Yeah.
So everyone is giving a different opinion.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, I know what I think about that.
Yeah.
Why do you think that you're getting 3 different opinions from contractors? Why do you think the letting agent has their own opinion? And why? And you're stuck in the middle, right? So without kind of like, what are your fears when you think about this? And then you think, well, how is that possible? Like, how can one person say that it's the toilet that's leaking and the other person says the roof's broken?
Yeah.
What do you think is the problem there?
So part of it's a control thing, I think, because you're not on the ground. So you haven't got like your own kind of common sense eyes on it to even see it in the first place. That's the first thing, especially if you're operating at a distance. The second thing is, I think people are often, don't take this the wrong way, Mr. Trade,
No.
but they go in, well you know, because you're speaking up from a completely different angle, but I think often they go in and they're too lazy to do an alternative diagnostic to what they think it probably is. And you know that by how quick the turnaround of the quote comes, right? Because listen, if I'm getting it like half an hour after job, you ain't looked at this properly, okay?
Yep.
And then the other thing is, I guess, and this is what we were talking about earlier as well before we got into the interview, was just, there's always a suspicion that there's something else going on, that they're looking to get the biggest bang for their buck. And also that comes from comparables, because you're like, how can you be quoting, especially if they've got the same diagnostic, how can you quote that and you quote that? So I think I had a paint job quoted up once. One said 1,500, the other said 5.5 grand. Same job. How? And so you're trying to kind of piece that together. So for me, a lot of it's about communication, and I guess also understanding the problem in the first place. I can't be there to explain the problem, so that's on my letting agent.
Okay.
So a lot of it is down to how people communicate.
To deliver the type of service that I can deliver, I'm at the higher end.
That's it. It's the same in anything you do. You charge because your time is valuable, your expertise is valuable.
That being said, it all comes back down to the guy on the ground.
Yeah.
So I've fired like so many people. I'm like a serial firer, and every time it breaks my heart.
Yeah.
I'm not good at it. I'm too soft to be a boss of anything.
Yeah.
But I have fired people because they walk in, they go, I've got to be home for my dinner. I want to be finished at 3:30 because I want to get home for dinner.
Yeah.
Don't even remove the bath panel.
That's it.
Don't
this is the guy
even,
that sent the quote half an hour later.
That's the guy who fills out the form that says this is what we need to do.
That's it.
And his form says 1 to 4 hours it will take.
Yeah.
Parts required, general fittings.
Yeah.
So because the guy on the ground doesn't care, it doesn't matter how much I care.
Yeah.
You're always dealing with that problem.
Yeah.
Okay, that again, I say interesting a lot, but it's all very interesting to me. Can you tell us, or tell me, about your experience with contractors? I want warts and all. Like, give it to me.
Have you listened to the Builders episode of Property Jam?
I listened to it this morning. But a lot of people watching this interview won't yet have listened to the Builders interview.
Look, one of my favourite things is actually, it's really funny. I'm hands off when it comes to the income management side of things. That's my letting agent's business. But I'm very hands on when it comes to the contractor side. So this might not be day-to-day maintenance, this will be doing the refurb.
Yeah.
But often you find that the people that end up doing sort of the maintenance are the people that you've had on site who are doing the works anyway. If it's like a plumbing issue or an electrical issue that comes up later on down the line, these are the people that you've made the connection with initially because they've done the refurb for you. So they know the property inside out. So for me, the trades, they're an interesting animal, aren't they? So I often say that what they draw is a monkey personality type. So you've got your dolphins, you've got your monkeys, you've got your lions, and then there's a whole forensic thing here. You've got your monkeys, you've got your lions, and you've got your owls. Your owls are detailed. They're your accountants and your engineers, that kind of thing. And then you've got your lions who are like the boss, like, don't give me the nonsense, just hit me with the bottom line. Then you've got your dolphins who just really care about the project and like the end user and how they're experiencing everything.
Yeah.
And then you've got the monkeys all like, be there on time, but where's the beer, right? That's your tradespeople.
Yeah.
That's your tradespeople. They sit in the monkey quadrant.
Yeah.
So you're managing a bunch of monkeys who are probably juggling 6 or 7 different jobs, who are, you know, not necessarily loyal to you, who have quite a strong personality a lot of the time, often men, which is a woman.
And big egos as well.
Big egos.
Oh my god, egos.
And it's like, listen, yeah, you don't listen, love, don't come in here with your investor hat from down south with your south accent. We're up north, we know how it goes. And then start throwing big builder words at you to make you not understand the job.
The Filangy Valve.
The Filangy Valve. Listen, I'll be like, talk to me like I'm a 5-year-old and explain to me the Filangy Valve and how it works. And all its inner mechanics, which is why I love boilers so much. Because, I mean, I had to call someone out to fix my boiler the other day. I'm like, what's going on in here? Explain everything. He's like, I'm literally here for half an hour. I'm like, just talk to me about what's going on inside your boiler. Because I like to know. So I think, for me, managing the trade, whether it's maintenance or whether it's a refurb, it's about respecting what they do. Because if you respect what they do, they will give you their time. Talking to them like they're a human being, not like they're the, excuse my French, shit on your shoe.
Yeah.
So that they don't just like, you know, contractor, you work for me. No, we're a team. You know, we're a team. Whether it's maintenance or whether it's a renovation. But also trying to understand what they do. So that you feel more informed. Because I don't understand plumbing. You know, you're saying that we need to run the pipes this way. But like, why? Oh, because the joists are going that way. Right, got it. Now I get it, and I respect your expertise.
And if you learn it, it's just like anything, right? So you're teaching me at the moment about property. I don't know anything about property investing. I invest in my business. Like, I don't know anything about property. I rent. All right, so I'm a renter.
Yeah.
But if you know, you're arming me with all this knowledge, and like, no, maybe I could do that.
You could totally do it.
I can go.
I'll show you how. Don't worry about it. It's fine.
Like, if you know that that's why your condense pipe got blocked. This is how you do it next time so it doesn't get blocked. If you know, then you know when you're looking at something, you're like, nah, that's not right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's power, right? That's knowledge.
Yeah. Macerators or not macerators?
Definitely not.
Agreed, but I learned that the hard way, right?
Yeah, they're definitely not about. And the thing I really, the real nuts and bolts of what I wanted to talk to you about today is knowledge the problem. So in terms of like, okay, here's a chain of events. Tenant has water pissing through the ceiling.
Yeah.
Tenant calls managing agent. Managing agent calls 15 contractors. There's water pissing through the ceiling, who can get there? Contractor calls tenant. Yeah. Contractor goes to property, turns water off, sends bill for £100. Calls the agent back, says, you're gonna need a whole new reflow, right?
Here we go.
You need a whole new reflow. And then knowing that they're the chosen contractor, and they're probably gonna get the work. And it's a bit quiet because it's the summer, right? So it's the summer, so it's a work from you need a whole new repipe, blah blah blah. Agent goes to landlord, you need a whole new repipe. What? Yeah. Why do I need a whole new repipe? Back, forth. Agent really doesn't know why I need a whole new repipe. No. Contractor knows, but probably in the contractor's interest. And so on and so forth. And in the end you give in. Because your tenant has water pouring through the ceiling and you need to get it fixed and you have to rely on someone's opinion. Yeah. Is that a major problem?
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to like. That's what the whole thing is about. Like, is it fair?
There's too many people in that conveyor belt.
Is it fair? Like, is it fair that you're basically, and I send a quote off, I'm like, you have no choice. Like, the tenant has no hot water, you've got to either put them in a hotel, or you've got no choice. Yeah. Luckily, for our clients, I run a very reputable enterprise, but I know people that don't.
Do you know, I think sometimes going direct to the contractor is the way to do it, and I guess, but as a landlord, that's the thing that you don't want to have to resort to, because that's why you pay your letting agent to be that middle person to kind of facilitate those kinds of discussions, and also give you, I guess, a sense of their own diagnostic from their experience, about having seen multiple properties go through multiple issues over the years. But I think often And I think this is kind of what you and I were talking about earlier, where you kind of, if you remove all of the middle people and you have something that is just set up where it's like contractor talking to other human being who can make a decision, then you are able to ask the questions that you want to ask. Because often you can weed out with the right questions whether or not that person legit has diagnosed the problem, because they're giving you a robust answer that isn't trying to dumbfound you with complicated words. They're like, here's how a boiler works, or here's how, you know, the piping is, and here's the problem, here's the solution. And it's not just a case of, why don't you trust me, you know?
Yeah, and then hedging bets as well. So like they're not sure if it's the gas valve or the PCB.
Yeah.
So you have to change the gas valve.
I'm going to have to pull your entire ceiling out to do that, and that's going to cost you 300 quid.
Yeah.
Oh, and then replastering costs as well. Excellent. Yes, brilliant. Just what I want to hear.
Do that.
Yeah.
Can you just tell everyone how they can learn more about you and about the property jam? So to the property jam. And just where they can find out more about you and what you do.
Okay. So, well, Property Jam, we live on Instagram, really. Property Jam lives on Instagram. So we have our own Insta handle, which is the Property Jam. Now, hang on, let me get this right. Joe, get this right. Oh, God, the boys will kill me if I get this wrong. So it's at Property Jam Podcast. So follow us, like us, love us. For me, on the property kind of coaching side of things and the performance side of things and how you show up as a great investor, as a great landlord, LinkedIn is the best way to get hold of me, which is how we connected. Yeah. So I'm at Jo Akhgar.
Thank you so much.
No worries.
I feel like I'm going to be talking to you again.
Yes!
I do feel that.
I feel like I haven't even said half of what I could say.
I feel there's so much more.
I know.
But we have a time limitation.
Yes.
So it was a pleasure meeting you and a pleasure interviewing you and talking to you. Thank you very much.
Likewise, and good luck with it.
Thank you.